Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Daily Easy English Talk. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for joining us. So picture this. You've just said something maybe a bit playful, maybe slightly over the top.
Yeah.
And you see that look on someone's face like, wait, were they serious?
Yeah, that pause.
Exactly. How do you quickly backtrack? How do you signal, hey, I wasn't being literal? That's what this deep dive is all about. Unpacking all those ways we say, basically, just kidding.
And it's really worth looking at these, you know? It's not just about saying you weren't serious.
Right.
It's about picking the right feel, the right nuance for who you're talking to, for the moment itself. Having these options, well, it gives you real flexibility, keeps things light.
Absolutely. So the obvious starting point, the big one, just kidding.
Can't avoid it.
It's just everywhere, isn't it? Super common, short, sharp, gets the message across immediately. You know, like, you owe me $1 million.
Right.
Just kidding. Bam. Done. It cuts right through.
Exactly. And maybe a slight variation on that, perhaps a bit softer sometimes, depending how you say it, is I'm only joking. Still very similar, obviously, but sometimes it feels a little less abrupt.
Yeah. How so?
Like, imagine you said something and it didn't quite land right. Maybe they look genuinely worried for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, oh, no, don't worry, I'm only joking. It can feel a bit more, I don't know, reassuring. Gentler, maybe, than just kidding.
That makes sense. A subtle shift in tone. Okay, now, moving towards phrases that feel a bit more about the interaction itself.
Right.
We get, I'm just messing with you. This one feels really casual to me. Like between friends.
Oh, definitely. It sort of screams casual familiarity.
Yeah. It's less about taking back one specific thing you said and more like saying, hey, the way we're talking right now, it's playful teasing. Like, relax, man. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
It implies you have that kind of rapport already, needs that comfort level.
Exactly. Messing with you often implies a bit of playful trickery, maybe, or leading someone on just for fun. And quite close to that, but maybe a bit lighter, sometimes even sort of affectionate, is I'm teasing you.
Ah, okay, teasing.
Yeah. You often use this when you're gently pointing out something about the other person, you know, a little quirk or habit, but in a totally friendly way.
Gotcha. Like,
Like, wow, you actually remembered my birthday this year. I'm teasing you. Something like that. It feels less about a big setup and more a light poke at them.
That's a really neat distinction. Messing is about the setup or the trick. Teasing is more about the person.
Yeah.
I like that. And then there's that fantastic idiom, I'm pulling your leg. I love this one.
Classic.
It doesn't make literal sense, does it? It's just this set phrase meaning I'm joking or I'm trying to fool you for fun.
Right. Usually follows something pretty out there.
Exactly. Something obviously exaggerated or totally unbelievable. If I told you I just saw a squirrel riding a tiny bicycle.
Okay.
And then said, nah, I was pulling your leg. It fits. Because the first part was clearly absurd. It's for those bigger, more obvious fibs told just to get a laugh.
And when you lay them all out like that, just kidding, only joking, messing with you, teasing you, pulling your leg,
Yeah.
you really see how they let you navigate different social situations. Need a quick fix? Just kidding. Need to soften something? Only joking. Labeling the whole interaction as play. Messing with you. A light, maybe affectionate jab. Teasing you. Revealing a tall tale. Pulling your leg.
They're not just synonyms at all, are they?
Not really. They're like specific tools for specific social jobs.
Yeah. And think about how picking the right one helps you, the listener.
Yeah.
It keeps things smooth, stops that awkwardness when someone wonders if you were actually being mean or serious.
Precisely.
These little phrases, they do a lot of work reinforcing the relationship, the tone.
Exactly. Getting comfortable with them means you can be clear about your intentions, make sure that playful vibe you wanted actually, lands correctly.
So here's something to chew on then. Think about a time you might say, I'm teasing you. Could you have also said, I'm just messing with you in that same spot?
Yeah.
What's the tiny difference in meaning or relationship that choosing one over the other signals? Something to notice.
Seeing them actually used helps show their power. We've put together a few mini dialogues, just short scenarios, to hear how these phrases actually work in the flow of a conversation, how quickly they can change the meaning.
Yeah, think of them as little micro case studies. What happens when you add that signal versus leaving it out?
All right, first one. Let's imagine we're at the office. You know, a place where communication needs to be pretty clear, but a bit of lightheartedness can be good too. Okay, I'll start. Hey, quick heads up. Did you hear the latest? Apparently the big boss wants to see you in their office, like right now. Said it sounded urgent.
Slight pause.
Hmm.
Me. Right now.
Yeah.
Urgent. Uh-oh. What did I do? Did they say what it was about?
Just kidding. Relax. They actually just passed me in the hall and said you did a great job on that presentation yesterday.
Audible sigh of relief. Oh, thank goodness. Man, you really had me going there for a second. My stomach just dropped. Okay, wow. Good job, though. That's good.
See, in that little exchange, the first statement, boss wants to see you, urgent. Boom. Immediate stress response, right?
Totally. Brain goes straight to worst case scenario. What did I mess up? Is my job okay? What excuse can I use?
Right. The cognitive load spikes, anxiety kicks in. We usually assume people are telling us the truth, especially about work stuff.
The Grecian maxim of quality again. You expect truth.
So when someone says something unexpected but serious sounding, you try to make it fit reality. But then by immediately following up with, just kidding, Mac, I hit that high-speed override. I stop your brain from spiraling too far down that stressful path.
Just kidding is perfect there because the potential issue was a single, clear, false statement about something potentially serious work. It just directly, quickly cancels the truth of that statement. The speed is key. You create that little controlled spike of tension.
Yeah, you see their eyes widen a bit.
And then, bam, release, which often leads to relief, maybe a shared laugh, which actually kind of reinforces the connection, strangely enough. It's the ideal tool for that quick, surprising, but totally harmless untruth that needs instant clarification, especially in a setting like work where you want efficiency.
Right. Efficiency and clarity, even when joking around. Okay, next one. Let's switch gears. Friends just hanging out. Much more casual vibe.
Okay, my turn to set one up. Hey, listen, you know how much you love that indie band, the obscure references?
Love them, yeah. What about them?
Well, I hate to be the one to tell you this,
Yeah.
but I saw online earlier they just announced they're breaking up, like effective immediately. Tour canceled, everything.
Gasp. Are you serious? Breaking up, but they just hinted at new music. Oh my God, that's awful. I'm actually devastated.
I'm just messing with you. They literally just dropped a surprise new album this morning. Check your streaming app.
Laughs. Relieved, but mock annoyed. You are the worst. Don't do that to me. A new album. Seriously. Okay, forgiving you immediately. Let me see.
So here, the setup targets something the listener obviously cares a lot about their favorite band. It gets that genuine reaction of dismay, disappointment.
Yeah, total gut punch for a second there. And I'm just messing with you. Feels really natural in that friend context.
It does, right.
Yeah.
Because that playful interaction totally depends on your established friendship.
Yeah.
Your friend loves that band, so pretending they broke up is a deliberate, playful poke designed to get that exact reaction from them. Saying, I'm just messing with you, signals that the whole thing, the fake bad news, their upset reaction, the happy reveal, was all part of a shared, acceptable game between friends. It confirms the intent wasn't actually to upset them, but to engage in that kind of teasing interaction. That's okay because you're buddies.
Yeah.
It uses the existing trust to create that little harmless emotional dip and rise, ending on a high note. It underlines the friendly nature of the whole thing.
So it's not just clarifying the statement was false, but also validating the playful act itself as being okay within the friendship.
Exactly. It frames that little trick as an act of friendly engagement, strengthening the bond rather than straining it.
Got it. Okay, how about a family dinner? Those dynamics can be tricky sometimes, maybe need a slightly gentler touch. All right, dinner was great, so looks like you're on dish duty tonight. Hope you're ready.
Scoffs playfully. Me? No way. I cooked yesterday, remember? Plus, I thought we agreed it was Sarah's turn tonight.
I'm only joking. Sarah's actually already started letting the dishwasher. You're officially off the hook. Go relax.
Smiling. Oh, thank goodness. You almost sparked a family feud there. Off the hook is good. Okay, so in this one, the initial comment, "You're on dish duty," implies a chore, an expectation. And it gets that immediate pushback, right? Me? No way.
Yeah, instant defense mode. And I'm only joking feels like a good fit there.
It does, because in a family context, just declaring someone's on dish duty could sound genuinely bossy or unfair. I'm only joking. Is, like we said, a bit softer, more explanatory than just kidding. It acknowledges that the listener might have taken it as a serious assignment.
Right, like, I see why you might think I was serious, but...
Exactly. And it gently clarifies that wasn't the intention. By using only joking, you frame the statement as merely a joke, which smooths over any potential ruffled feathers about fairness or chores. It lets you float a playful idea without the bluntness that might cause friction in a dynamic where there are ongoing expectations and maybe past discussions about whose turn it is.
It feels more considerate of their possible reaction compared to just a quick, just kidding, a bit more thoughtful.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's a more careful way to clarify when the joke touches on things like fairness or responsibility within a group like a family.
Okay, scenario 4. How about talking on the phone? You lose all the visual cues, right? So maybe clarity is even more important.
Okay, let's try that. Ring, ring. So, listen, you know that antique watch your grandfather left you? The one I said I'd keep safe while your apartment was being painted?
Oh, yeah. The pocket watch. Everything okay with it? Painting's done, by the way.
Well, this is really awkward. There was a small incident involving my cat, a glass of water, and, well, the watch. It's not ticking anymore. I'm so sorry.
Sharp intake of breath. What? Not ticking. The cat. Are you kidding me? That watch is priceless. What happened?
I'm teasing you. It's totally fine. I locked it safely in my desk drawer the second you gave it to me. I hasn't seen the cat or water. Just want to make sure you were awake.
Exhales loudly. Oh my God, do not do that. My heart literally stopped teasing me about that. Okay. It's safe though.
Safe and sound, promise. So the initial statement here causes real shock, real concern, because it's about something deeply sentimental and valuable. The reaction is strong, immediate.
What? Yeah, pure panic. And I'm teasing you works to diffuse that.
I think it does, because the joke was specifically a provocation focused on something the listener treasures. It fits that definition of teasing really well, making light, friendly fun, centered on something connected to the person, even if it causes that momentary distress. Saying, "I'm teasing you," explicitly labels this interaction as playful banter, not a real confession of disaster. It reassures the listener the intent was friendly, followed immediately by the good news. It uses the concept of teasing to frame the upsetting statement within friendly bounds, especially effective when the comment hits something the listener cares deeply about.
It confirms the potential distress was just part of a friendly, if maybe slightly risky, game, not actual bad news.
Exactly. It clarifies the comment about the watch was a playful jab, not a catastrophe.
All right, in our last scenario, just a casual chat, maybe you decide to tell a slightly wild story. You are not going to believe what just happened on my lunch break. Seriously wild.
Oh, yeah. What? Don't tell me the sandwich place was closed again.
Worse. I was walking back through the park, right? And this drone, like a big one, swoops down out of nowhere, snatches the sandwich right out of my hand, and flies off towards the river, I swear.
Leans in, eyes wide. No way! A drone stole your sandwich? Seriously. Did you see who was flying it?
Nope. Starts grinning. I'm just pulling your leg. My sandwich is safe and sound right here, but you totally bought it for a second.
Laughs, shakes head. Okay, you definitely got me. A drone sandwich thief. I was picturing it. Very creative. So here, the initial story is designed to be pretty outlandish, right? Drone steals sandwich, but maybe delivered convincingly enough that the listener hesitates, questions. Their reaction, seriously, shows they were genuinely considering it for a moment, despite the absurdity.
Which makes it the absolute perfect setup for, I'm just pulling your leg.
Totally. This idiom is tailor-made for jokes that involve telling a made-up, slightly unbelievable story to see if the listener falls for it. The fun is in that contrast between the crazy story and reality, and the listener's brief moment of, wait, could that actually happen? I'm just pulling your leg, is the classic, culturally understood phrase to reveal that specific kind of playful deception. It says explicitly, that story, total fabrication, just for laughs. It immediately clarifies the nature of what came before as a deliberate untruth for fun.
It tells them not just that you were joking, but exactly how you were joking by trying to fool them with a tall tale.
Precisely. It identifies the specific playful strategy you used.
Wow. Okay, reflecting on all those scenarios, it's crystal clear how vital these simple phrases are. They're not just like optional extras. They're crucial tools, aren't they? They instantly manage how someone interprets what you said. They help navigate those potential social bumps. And they make sure that what you intended as lighthearted actually lands that way.
Mm-hmm. They stop those awkward moments of confusion, or worse, unintended hurt, right in their tracks. They're like quick social adjustments or confirmations. And they allow us to be more playful, to bend the rules of always being literal.
Yeah, like that Grice's maxim thing.
Exactly. They let us briefly violate the expectation of truthfulness for humor, and then immediately fix any potential confusion, keeping the conversation friendly and cooperative.
These examples really drive it home, don't they? Picking the right phrase isn't just random. It really depends on what the joke is, who you're talking to, the whole situation. Mastering these signals isn't just about being funnier. It's about being understood when you're trying to be funny or just keep things light.
They really are essential social lubricants, aren't they? They let us have that playfulness, that slight ambiguity that makes conversation interesting and fun. But they also provide the crucial clarity to stop that ambiguity tipping over into confusion or friction.
So wrapping up this deep dive, understanding and, more importantly, using these simple phrases effectively is just fundamental, really, for navigating everyday conversations with humor and warmth. Being able to clearly signal, hey, this is playful, is the bridge between a comment landing weirdly and a moment of shared fun.
Absolutely. Those 5 phrases. Just kidding. I'm only joking. I'm just messing with you. I'm teasing you and I'm pulling your leg. They're such valuable tools to have ready in your communication kit. They give you a range of ways to make sure your playful intent is crystal clear, matching the specific moment and the person you're talking to.
Using them consciously helps clarify things instantly. It stops misunderstandings before they start, keeps fees friendly, keeps things fun. They're just pragmatic must-haves for anyone wanting to connect better in daily life. They let you add that lightness and humor without constantly worrying, oh no, did they take that the wrong way?
They turn those potential moments of awkwardness into easy rapport, making sure your attempts at humor actually build connection, not break it.
So, a final thought for you to maybe ponder. Think about your own conversations. Can you remember a time when a joke, maybe yours, maybe someone else's just kind of thudded, landed awkwardly because that just kidding signal wasn't there, or maybe the wrong one was used? How might using one of these phrases quickly and clearly have changed the whole interaction? It makes you think, doesn't it? How this seemingly tiny part of talking, signaling you're joking can actually have a pretty big impact on how well we connect with people, just by making sure our playful side is always understood.
Well, that's all for this deep dive. We hope you found these tips useful.
And if you did, please do follow and subscribe to Daily Easy English Talk. Share it with anyone else you think might find it helpful too.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. We'll be back soon with another deep dive next time